Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or good morning, or good afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the latest North versus South podcast, and featuring your two hosts, myself, State, and my co-host, Heath. How are you today, buddy?
Yeah, really good, mate. Really, really good. How are you?
Very good. We're getting close to Christmas now. I saw Santa at the weekend, went up, took the little man on the Santa train and everything. So yeah, really good. Got that Christmas buzz and feel about it now. So yeah.
Hold on. So when you say Santa, you're talking about a guy with a beard who keeps presenting you gifts, right?
Yeah.
Is this Mo Salah? Are
No,
you
no,
talking about
no,
Mo
no.
Salah?
No, this guy had a white beard, mate, a white beard. And to be fair, well, we haven't got to it yet, but I've got more than just Mo Salah scoring me points, you see, at the moment. So, and we'll get, thanks for bringing that up so early. We'll get to that a bit. We'll get to that in this week's show, I'm sure, because as always, we'll have our game week review in this show. But yeah, I mean, in terms of this week's show, we've got some exciting new things to sort of talk about as well. But what we're going to do today is we're going to sort of go through our game week reviews from the weekend's games. Very interesting game week from both mine and Heath's perspectives. We'll go through a standard shit list of 5 players, who shit list pretty much self-explanatory. Then we've got our North versus South score prediction results from the predictions we did in the last podcast. And then we'll do our North versus South mini league updates. We've got our new feature, which I won't go into now, but it's called On the Spot. When we get to it, you'll find out more about that one, but we're quite excited about the new feature this week. Then we'll have a game week preview for the midweek fixtures coming up. And then we'll have a little quiz as well, which I'm doing for Heath. So yeah, that's an action-packed show as always for us too. And plenty of talking points, I'm sure, are going to come up, aren't they, Heath? Yeah?
Mate, definitely, 100%. It feels like so much has happened since our last podcast. And it doesn't feel like it's stopping after all this COVID stuff. It has actually kind of fallen into that category of being a little bit of a disaster for FPL players out there, because people have taken hits this week thinking that might be the only time they need to take a hit. And now we're at a point where there's a chance the United game could get called off. Maybe the Norwich game, maybe the Spurs game could get called off again. There's just, it feels like proper FPL drama, which means no real drama, but for people who don't have a huge amount going in their lives, proper drama. So we're here to help. And by the way, when I say people who haven't got much going on in their lives, I'm really talking about myself and State and maybe a few others.
Yeah, we're sad and lonely. Well, we're not lonely per se, but we don't do much.
I don't want to insult our audience after like 5 minutes of the show. I think I insulted them maybe a few podcasts back, but not this time. That was not the plan.
Yeah, well, you start off well as always, buddy. Really strong. I mean, this just goes into, will fall in nicely to a lot of things going on. There's still a shit list to be put on. You could be on there already for everyone else, not for me.
All right, audience, Merry Christmas. I hope you're all well. Hope you're having a lovely time at the moment.
Too late. You've lost it. I mean, again, I will make sure Heath's Twitter feed will be shared to you at the end, so that you can send him as much abuse as you want. All happy. But yeah, oh dear. Oh man. Well, I'm excited. Like I said, so it's good. Like I said, lots has happened, but there's more coming in. So, which will lead us on to our first item on the agenda. Game week review of the week. So, obviously we'll review our FPL team performances this week. Heath. So how'd you get on, buddy?
If I wasn't against you, I would have been quite happy with my week. But in a way, you inspired me to take a few hits, but also, I guess allowed me to get carried away, because for me, unfortunately, I feel like I've got no willpower whatsoever. So my man here, State, went to university with me, and he knows I have no willpower whatsoever. If someone says to me,
I can confirm that definitely.
If someone says to me, do you want to go out for a pint, and my dissertation's meant to be in a day later, I will be very, very tempted to go for that pint. Yeah, I basically, after our previous podcast, State told me he was taking, well, he told the audience that he'd taken a few dramatic transfers. And I listened to that and thought, oh, interesting. I had a few plans up my sleeve. I thought maybe I can make one or two transfers myself. But, maybe this was a chance to bring in some players and get rid of some dead wood. Well, it turns out because of COVID, I had to make more transfers than I even bargained for. However, knowing that State had made a -8 already, I thought, that's fine. I can make a -8. We're on level terms from the beginning, and I can, don't have to worry about these Tottenham players. Now, that wasn't actually too bad of a plan, and I'll go into go into details about my team now. So let's just start with Ramsdale. He got me 11 points. Now he had a really good week, and I was really, really happy with him because he got a clean sheet, he got bonus, he got save points. I feel like he's one of those players who seems to be getting bonus points if he gets a couple of saves and he gets clean sheets. So he's been a bit of a winner for me since I brought him in. Rudiger, 2 very strange assists for 2 penalties.
Oh, yeah.
He got a -1 for the goals conceded, but got 2 bonus points, so he got me 9 points. And then one of my transfers in was Vladimir Soufal. He got me a clean sheet bonus, so that was good. I was quite happy with that. And I then have to announce my stinker of the week. And honestly, it's bad, right? I think most of you will probably understand why I did what I did. When I tell you who my captain was on, you guys will laugh. State, you will laugh. My captain was on Emmanuel Dennis, all the way up until the point where it came out in the media that Reece James was definitely going to start in the game against Leeds, at home against Leeds. And I thought, well, Reece James, if he scores big. He can get goals, he can get assists, he can get clean sheets. Worst case scenario, gets a clean sheet against Leeds, who, they do score, but I wouldn't really expect them to score 2 at Chelsea. And Sod's Law happened. They scored 2 at Chelsea. Reece James got booked. He is another wind-up merchant. And me putting the captaincy on him meant that I got 0 points. And as you all know, you can't double 0 points, unfortunately. So that
just make 0.
Well, yeah. Okay. But yeah, that was a proper stinker for me. But I still felt confident. I still felt I had enough. It turns out I didn't. Mason Mount got me 6 points. Again, he's been doing quite well. Got another goal, took his goal really well. Got another yellow card, though, annoying. Wilfried Zaha was another player I brought in. I looked at Crystal Palace's fixtures. I haven't really mentioned him on the podcast, but he's a player that, he's the kind of player that when he's on form, you want him in your team. Especially where he's now in the midfield. He was up front a couple of years ago. He's now back in midfield. I don't think I made the wrong decision there, given they won 3-1. He just unfortunately didn't actually get any points in that game. So I was quite happy that Palace, maybe they've turned around their form again. Moussa Sissoko came in for Emil Smith-Rowe with a solid 2-pointer against Brentford. And then Conor Gallagher, the star of the week, with 2 goals against Everton, 3 bonus points. He got me 15 points. If only I put the captaincy on him, but we don't live and breathe with if onlys. Mikel Antonio, another disappointing 2-pointer, this time away at Burnley. Ollie Watkins. Now, I brought him in this week knowing that I could get away with a -8 because State was on a -8. I thought if I bring him in this week, he's playing Liverpool away. I don't expect too much from him. However, they've got Norwich next week. So I was thinking I'm making a transfer really for next week. And if he gets anything from Liverpool, that's a bonus. What did he do? He got 1 point from Liverpool. Good work, Ollie. Emmanuel Dennis, what an absolute star. He got a goal, got 3 bonus points. Just should have made him captain. Should have stuck with my guns. But we don't really go with ifs and buts in this podcast.
Didn't get the W. You must have been good about the Watford not getting the win there. Must have been devastated.
Oh, do you know what? I don't even want to go into it.
I do.
I don't want to go into it.
I want to poke this bear. you know, I'm a
Oh,
poker.
I tell you what. Let's just wait for my shit list. Let's just wait for my shit list. All right.
Okay, I can wait. I'm patient. I've got all the time.
Good man. So Foster's on my bench, obviously 0, still injured. Smith Rowe obviously came out for Sissoko. Lamptey and Cucurella, both their game was called off. And obviously there's no Kane, Son, Reguilon. I've taken them all out because of these new players that have come in. The idea being, I wouldn't normally do that. I know you're probably thinking, but Tottenham are one of your bigger teams to pick from. That's very true. However, I don't know how long this COVID thing is going to go on for. If they play their game coming up, then fair play. I have to take that hit if they get a lot of points, but I want to have players who I know who should be playing. I don't want to have to be making minus, taking hits every week. So anyway, just to get to the point, in the end, I got 63 points, take away the 8 points. So that's obviously 55. So it's not bad. Average points was 55. So I got the average. I'm obviously disappointed because, well, you find out in a second why I'm disappointed, but I should have stuck by my guns with Dennis. I really should. And I'm sure we've all been there. And so therefore I'm not going to get too upset. But do you know what the other thing that really, I don't know why I allow myself to do this. I don't like captaining a player who's playing in the first game. I don't know why. Because then you've got if you don't do well, then you've got to go through the whole of the game week knowing that, you sit on that. But it could go the other way, I don't know why it's got to me mentally.
Well, look, I mean, I know a few people play the Sky Fantasy one, and you can actually change your captains during the game week sort of thing on that. So you can put someone in. It was a bit like the Euros. I don't know if you did the fantasy Euros game, but you could change your captain. After like the first couple of games, you could either stick with your captain what he'd scored you, or you could gamble and pick somebody else and hope they did better. You can do that in the Sky one. Maybe it's something, a chip that FPL could say, like, you get to do it twice in game week. You can change it to a player who hasn't played yet, your captain in game week, or it could stick. They could maybe add that as a chip, maybe, who knows? But yeah, I know what you're saying with that, because if you made your captain and they play the Friday night game, they do not fall, you're straight away on a downer. You're straight away thinking,
exactly.
You're in a head-to-head league, you're straight away thinking, I'm going to get bummed by State here because Salah's definitely going to.
I don't necessarily think that way. No.
Yeah, I reckon you do. And I don't blame you. I'd be scared of me and my team as well, mate. I understand why you're scared.
Well, come on. Let's hear about that team of yours. Come on.
Well, as Heath made his point earlier, I made some big transfers last week. So I made 4 transfers, so I got a -8.8. The funny part of that was one of those transfers was Patrick Bamford, and I'd already made it before it came out that he got injured from his goal celebration. Leeds kept that quiet for like the first part of the week at least, and I obviously made early transfers, which I don't generally do, but I was obviously made some rage transfers last week. So that's why you don't make rage transfers, people, because you do something stupid and someone gets injured, red exclamation mark next to him, and you have no idea when they're coming back again. So yeah, don't do that in future. Don't do that.
That bloody exclamation mark.
Yeah. It's just not what we want to see, and I've got quite a few of them actually but I'll talk about that in this game week preview. But no, my team did pretty well considering. So Kasper Schmeichel in net, he kept a clean sheet. Right, Kasper Schmeichel.
However, did you see how close he was to not keeping a clean sheet?
Yeah,
Castagna seemed determined, didn't he? Castagna seemed determined.
We're not keeping a clean sheet.
Not today, Gaffer.
Yeah, exactly. Put it this way, if that had happened, it'd have been on my shit list. Castagna definitely, but no, Kasper did well. It pulled it off, so he also made 3 saves, so 7 points against Newcastle. Well done, Kasper. I still desperately need to get rid of you because that's your second clean sheet of the season. So I don't fancy waiting another 15 game weeks for you to get another one. And giving you your next 4 games are looking tasty. Then I'm probably not gonna keep you in for that reason.
Why don't you give Norris a try?
I might do. I think the lad, he's dying for a try, but I think his problem is that he's not going to play any minutes for anybody this season. I don't think that's the only slight problem with that. But
he's got a good beard though. I mean, he's rocking that beard either way.
Yeah. Well, what I find funny is if you look on his stats, he's got a creativity of 50 of 75 and a threat of 42 of 75. I mean, how's he got those type of figures? Surely he should be like the lowest of the low. But never mind. Yeah, the rest of the defense solid. Cancelo 7 points, got 2 bonus points. He picked up a yellow card, which means he's now got a suspension, which is not good. We'll talk about suspensions soon because I've got a few of those coming into my squad. Diaz obviously got a clean sheet, also got a booking there, so he got 5 points, but again, still decent. And then my man Trent, clean sheet for Liverpool, and he got 3 bonus points, so 9 points from Trent. So already my back four have all kept clean sheets. They've already got me 35 points in my back four. Not 35, sorry, 28 points. And that from my keeper and my back three. So that was a good start, positive start. Midfield, because Bamford was out injured, he brought in Boubacar Samari from Leicester. He's someone I've got in on the cheap. He got 3 points, he got 2 points, and he got a clean sheet bonus. Diogo Jota, he was obviously didn't really train much last week, so he was on the bench. Came on, just got a point. Bernardo Silva got an assist for that horrible penalty decision for Man City against Wolves. I can't buy that as a penalty, really can't. Just not happy with that decision. But still he got an assist for it. He got a clean sheet bonus point. So yeah, 6 points from Bernardo, and take that. Then Captain Mo, steady away, got the goal, the penalty, a clean sheet bonus. He got 8 points in the end. He didn't get any bonus points, but 8 points from Mo Salah. So as I captained in, 16 from him. And then my superstar of the week and one of the stars of the week, James Maddison. Don't know if you watched the Leicester game, anyone, but Maddison was quality. I mean, Leicester were good. I mean, Newcastle are shocking, but 16 points from James Maddison, 1 goal, 2 assists, clean sheet bonus, and he got 2 bonus points. And to be fair, he should have got 3. I wasn't buying the fact that Tielemans, was it Tielemans who got the 3 bonus points in the end?
Yeah,
he did, because he scored 2 goals. One of them were a penalty. So what? I mean, God, I could have scored that penalty, and I would have done. So anyway, Maddison were quality. And to be fair, he'd have got another assist if Harvey Barnes hadn't been an idiot and squared it for Daka to score a tap-in. Because he did a right pass into Barnes, and Barnes should just slotted it home for another Maddison assist.
That was one hell of a pass, to be fair to Maddison. That was a good pass.
That's where the pre-assist should get a point.
That's one of those passes that you watch it back once, twice, 3 times just to work out who did that pass. That's such a good pass. Yeah. And if you haven't watched it, guys, Leicester Newcastle, just watch it for the Daka goal. The one leading up to Barnes is just such a good pass, to be fair.
Yeah.
I thought it was Tielemans, and then when you see Daka running away, you can see Tielemans to the side of him. But yeah, it was really, really good pass.
Yeah. So yeah, but 16 points from James Maddison. He's been in good form over the last sort of 3-4 game weeks, and yeah, that form continued there for Leicester, and good 16 points from him. Then my front two, Timo Pukki got 2 points at Man United. I mean, if it weren't for David De Gea, he'd have got more than 2 points, because David De Gea had a great game, made a couple of saves. I think Pukki had one which got deflected as well and just went wide, and which everyone thought was going in. I think Norwich, to be fair, were a bit unlucky to not get smile of the game, really. But yeah, 2 points from Pukki, and then a guy who we'll talk about in a bit more detail. But I'll just say Raul Jimenez -2 points, and I'll talk about him. Yeah, I'll talk about him soon, and it'll be very soon, I guarantee that. And then my back four, my 4 benches: Norris no points, Bamford no points, Mason Aldgate got a point, Conor Cody got 2 points. Yeah, that was it. So it gave me a final total of 70 points. Minus my 8 gave me 62 points in total. I'm happy with that week, especially given made 4 transfers, and I got the game week win obviously against Heath, which gets my league back up to 12 points after he come back a little bit. So I think it was a good game week for me. Although I made some rage transfers, they sort of were proved to be right transfers at the time, I think. So yeah.
Nice, mate. Yeah, you had a good week. And to be fair, like I say, if I wasn't facing you this week, I would have been quite happy with my game week. It's only because you had a very good game week that has brought me down a little bit.
And I also, I don't know if you got a win, but I got a win in the main fantasy cup as well. I won that one.
No, I went out, unfortunately. I need to focus on the league, to be honest. As there have been many jokers saying that this week on Twitter, you go out the first round of the cup that you're never going to win, and you say you're going to focus on, your own mini league.
We'll have a league cup later on in the game week, to be fair.
Nice, yeah.
So just for our mini league of 24 teams, I think it's towards the back end of the season, but there will be a cup competition at the back end of the season within our league. So maybe you can focus on it then, because by that point you'll be well and truly out of the league title race with me. So you can then go and focus on a Mickey Mouse Cup towards the end of the season. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, well, let's move away from some positivity and let's talk about the shit list. The shit list consists of a maximum of 5 players. It doesn't just have to be players. It can be officials. It can be anything. It could be the team coach for, I don't know, Burnley. It doesn't really matter. It could be anyone. So, State.
How would you pick on Burnley like that? Why? What's Sean Dyche done to you?
He's done nothing. It was just the first team I thought of when I thought of team coach. I don't know why.
Burnley fans, I'll give you his address.
Also, maybe it's the fact that in an example before the podcast, I used Blackburn Rovers and Burnley to you 3 times, and now they're both stuck in my head. Blackburn aren't in FPL, Burnley are. That's probably the reason why. Next. Yeah. Okay. No, so the shit list, I'll be honest with you, as soon as certain things started to unravel on Saturday, I could not wait for State shit list. So I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to relax. I'm going to enjoy your shit list, even though you won the week.
Yeah, well, who do we start with for the shit list? So we'll go with the main man on my shit list. So Raul Jimenez, what a fucking plonker. Now, lovely man, Raul Jimenez. We all glad to see him back playing and everything after his horrific injury last season. But I don't want to sound insensitive, but I think they might want to go back and have another scan of that brain of his, to be honest with you, because it was a fucking brain dead decision what he did to get his second yellow card. Now, don't get me wrong, I thought the first yellow card was a little bit harsh. I don't think it was a yellow. Referee did that, but then he's standing like 4 yards away from the guy. The guy takes the free kick and he sticks his foot out. And I mean, it's literally the same free kick that he's just been booked for. And I mean, just what he's doing. And it's not just the fact that you cost me -2 points. I mean, that's unforgivable anyway, but you've cost your team as well, because, yes, City were, obviously trying to pile the pressure, but Wolves were, defending well. They're good at the back of Wolves. They keep clean sheets. They only lost 1-0 to Liverpool. They've only lost 1-0 to City. And City was a dodgy penalty that City needed to actually break their spirits in the end. And you just like, Raul, you really cost them there, because they had no outlet then after that, because they had to basically play like a 4-4-1, and it was 5-3-1, I think it was. So it just really ended things for him. So I would imagine you're not just on my shit list. I would imagine you're on your own team shit list. Wolves lads Connor Cody's quite a good laugh. I reckon he'll have done some prank on him to remind him of his stupidity at the weekend. So yeah, Raul Jimenez, you're on my shit list. Very, very stupid man. Yeah. You should have seen me. I was watching the Wolves City game and I was giving expletives. I'm like, if I lose my head game week, I have 2 points because of you tosser. That's it. We're done. We might still be done, to be fair, but but yeah. So he's on there. Patrick Bamford, you're on there. Yes, now I know people might think it was my own fault for bringing him in so early on and before the game week started. Well, those people would be right, but in my head, I don't like blaming myself, to be fair. I like to see myself as that perfect specimen who doesn't do anything or get any wrong decisions in this, okay? So I'm blaming Patrick Bamford. You know you've been injured. You know you've only just come back. Why don't you just do a normal celebration? Sit on your bum, do like the car driving, celebration or something like that.
How is that normal?
Okay, it's not normal, but it's not going to get you injured. You're not going to pull your hammer like he did by going ape, So I mean, okay, maybe don't do something normal, but don't do something where you've got to do more running. All right, save your legs, save your hamstring. You just got back from injury, like get your players to carry you like you're a god. If you see the film Chariots of Fire at the end, they carry Eric Liddell, because he's won a sprint at 400 meters and won a gold medal. They're saving his legs.
How do you know Eric Liddell? How do you know his name? You watched it recently?
Probably about a year ago, but I've watched it about 20 times. So it's a great film. It's Chariots of Fire. If any of you listeners haven't watched it, get on there. Trust me, brilliant film. And the opening beach scene and the music, you can't beat that. It's just pure genius.
I think we watched it at uni, didn't we? I remember just thinking, this is brilliant. We were just watching. Yeah. We watched. What was the other film we watched?
Oozes.
Yeah, we watched that. With this is our university degree, guys. We watched that. We watched.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams. Tin Cup. There was one more that was really. It was all about the philosophy of.
The Running Man.
The Running Man, yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you call that sport, I mean, God help you. But it was funny. Yeah, it was
a great film.
Good film.
Got any impressions for that one?
I'll be back.
Come on.
He did
Running
actually
Man.
say, yeah, Running Man. He did. Actual Running Man impressions.
Yeah. Well, I always think when I see the West Ham fullback, I just think of the old woman who's like, "Who are you picking this week?" And she's like, Ben Johnson, which is probably the most irritating character in there. But it's all about the goddamn spine bit, I'm going to get my fist down your throat and rip out your goddamn spine. Now that's what it's all about, mate. I've obviously kind of had to maneuver that for the podcast because I could have gone all day. But anyway,
good. I like that. Good impression. Good work. Good work. But yeah. So yes, I've got Immers and Bamford on my shit list there straight away. So that was them two. Yeah, and the other person on my shit list is is VAR. And the VAR for the City Wolves game. How are you not overturning that penalty? It's hit your armpit, hit the guy's armpit. It's not a penalty. You can't be giving that. It's just not on. And VAR's meant to be there to determine a clear error. It was a clear error. You could see quite clearly it hits under his armpit. That's not handball. So why is that not overturning it? It's really, really frustrating. There was a lot of penalties this weekend, and a fair few of them were definite penalties. There were some penalties not given, which probably should have been given. I mean, but that was just a blatant one. They looked at it loads, and why have they given that penalty? I'm not sure. I mean, to be fair, City probably should have had a penalty maybe in the first half. There was probably a bit more of another sort of contentious handball, but where I think Max Kilman, sort of, he had his arm behind his back, but he then leans into it where it hits his arm. But he leans into it. Rio Ferdinand will explain it on BT, and he goes, "It's a penalty for me because he's keeping his hand by his sides, but then he leans into the ball with it. So he's still making that movement with it. He's just trying to, but he's obviously, he's sort of just played a bit of a trick on the rules, to be fair, because he's kept his hands down his side. So yeah, VAR, VAR can kiss my ass this weekend. What a knobhead. So yeah.
You could say VAR humbug.
VAR, oh yeah, that's horrible, Heath. Horrible. But yeah, so they're on my shit list as well. To be honest with you, I just kept it at those three, to be fair, this week. I didn't want to use my full five because I thought I had a good week and stuff like that. And those were the things, nothing else really compared to my my anger towards those three things, if truth be told. So I didn't want to give someone a disservice by just putting them on there for the sake of it. I'm not going to put you on there, Heath, for slaying our listeners early doors. I could have done, but again, I don't mind giving the listeners a bit of stick every now and then either. So I think that's no issue with that.
Let's not dwell on that, because I could probably just edit that bit out.
That'd be a shame. Yeah, I'm just going to say it after every comment I make.
This is the thing. They may never know, because they may listen to it and think, did he edit it out or not? Who knows? They'll never know.
So how about yours? Who's on your hit list, mate?
Okay, Reece James.
Definite, yeah.
Easy. Reece James. I don't have to go into it. I mean, I could probably take fault, but the fact is that he's guaranteed to start in the Chelsea defence, who have been very good, although they've been a disaster since Ben Chilwell's been injured. So to be fair, maybe it's my own fault for not reading that. And then James hasn't done too much wrong really, but for me, FPL wise, he's had a disaster. So anyway, Reece James. Second one was actually also VAR. Now, what you just said, I totally agree with, right? I completely agree with the City games. And he did kind of hint that there were others in other games. All right. Controversial. Mo Salah. Now, I think that is a penalty. However, knowing what Mo Salah is like, not personally, I mean, I just know what he's like as a individual when he's playing football, how easy he goes down. There's a lot of footballers out there. Before any Liverpool fans think I'm just singling them out here, Harry Kane is a perfect example of another player does it too, goes down very easily. Both of them are loved by their fans, probably because they do that and they get away with it. But Mo Salah throws his leg in front of Tyrone Mings. Mings is not trying to foul him. It looks clumsy. You watch it back and you think to yourself, it looks like it could be a penalty. For me, just because of Salah's history, I'm seeing that and I'm thinking dive straight away. It may not have been. I might be wrong. But the fact is that when you look at VAR, you look at the slow-mo, you think, how does a foul, how is a foul consisted of? When you look at it and you kind of say to yourself, does he throw his foot towards the other person's foot? Does Mings actually go in and try and tackle Salah, which I don't think he does. All right. Anyway, I'm going to continue. James Maddison. Now, that is a shocking dive. He's so looking for that. And he's got it. And fair play. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy Leicester beat Newcastle. However, it's such a shame that after that game, I'm looking at James Maddison after, like we talked about earlier, great pass, great goal, all sorts of things going on. Definitely deserved 3 bonus points, but was a star player. But it's the fact that he dives to get that first penalty that really is frustrating. You don't want to see that in someone's game. Maybe the problem here is that if he doesn't dive, he doesn't get a foul, and therefore, ultimately there probably is going to be a foul there. But if you watch Lascelles, he pulls out. It's really, and I mean, to be fair, Newcastle did it to themselves, but it's not a penalty. The next one is, I mean, the Chelsea penalties. I'm not saying they're not penalties, but they're so soft. They're so soft. They are
decisions, though, innit? You can't run the risk in this game of getting like that. And that last one, where's Rudiger going on that last one? He's going nowhere, and you're making a challenge on him.
It's stupidity all round, right? I say stupidity. It's stupidity from Leeds defenders, right? But at the same time, they're just soft penalties. If we go back, in time, and someone said these are going to be penalties in 20 years' time, 30 years' time, football fans would have laughed. It just doesn't sit right when you see like the Rafinha one. It was a penalty because it doesn't. He catches catches Rudiger, but the fact is he still gets the ball. He's still gone in there to get the ball. He's cleared it for a corner. You think that's fine. Rudiger was going nowhere. Rafinha's first foot has stopped him from going anywhere because that's the one that's got the ball. The second foot coming in, it's caught him. Yeah, it's a penalty. And I'm not saying that's not a penalty. I am saying it's a penalty. It's so soft though. And it is VAR just all about technicalities. The second one, he has kicked his foot, but is that really enough for Rudiger to go down like he has gone down? It's pathetic. And this is someone who's got Rudiger in his team, you know.
Yeah.
And then on the counter that, you go to Burnley, West Ham, and there's a clear penalty. If you're looking at that Chelsea one, on Dawson.
Yeah.
How is that not given? And again, I maybe I'm looking at it from an Antonio point of view, assuming that he would have taken the penalty. But at the same time, you know, it's so frustrating to walk away from that weekend of football and to be talking about not just one, not just two, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 penalty contentious decisions when you've got technology on your side now. It's so frustrating. And I'm going to continue talking about diving. William Troost-Ekong, why are you diving in the 95th minute against relegation rival Brentford? What the fuck are you doing, man? Honestly, you stupid boy. Like, do not dive in that late in the game. I play Sunday League football, and I know you cannot dive in the penalty area. You just can't do it at that level. What are you doing in Premier League doing that? Oh my God. Ridiculous. That's all I'm going to say about that Watford game, right? And the last thing on my shit list, it's so funny because I promise you, I wrote this down before the podcast, before we talked about Burnley. I don't have a vendetta against Burnley, and I might do after Wednesday because we got them on Wednesday. The Burnley fans, where are they? What's going on? Why are there no Burnley fans at the game? I mean, there are some, but why are they not selling out? They're in the Premier League. Are they the current version of Wimbledon, or the old Wimbledon, or Wigan Athletic? I mean, does Burnley have a rugby league team that we should know about? I don't know. Do they? You tell me.
No, there's no rugby league team in Burnley. You were on Sky though, so people probably just thought, just watch it out.
That is no excuse, buddy. You know that. I mean, as a Northerner, you guys pride yourselves on, you know, being proper football fans up there. You know, it's none of this kind of prawn sandwiches and all that kind of stuff up north, right? They've got to be at that game. They can't be watching it on Sky. I mean, come on, that's awful. The Burnley, you know, when we were kids, Burnley being, you know, anywhere near the top division would have been, you know, kind of a massive surprise. They've been out there for so long now. Are their fans taking it for granted and therefore not going? Because the problem is that the moment that happens, the Burnley fans aren't there, that's when their players will probably maybe take a dip, and that's when they might get relegated, like it has happened to other teams. So the Burnley supporters who aren't turning up, who are watching it on Sky, they're on my shit list. And I think that's a disgrace personally. I think if you support a Premier League club, unless the games are, you know, they're paying 60, 70, 80 pound a ticket at Burnley, which I really very much doubt they are, then there's no excuses. So yeah, but that's my shit list. Okay, so moving away from our shit list, that was quite intense. So let's go on to the North versus South score prediction results and predictions for this week. State, what we got?
So we had this week, both of us went for Chelsea to beat Leeds. That happened. Both of us went for Liverpool to beat Villa. That happened. You went for Burnley. Oh, no. You go for the draw. Yeah, you went for the draw, sorry. And I went for West Ham, and Burnley got a draw. So you were bang on there. And then you went for Palace, and I went for a draw with Palace Everton. So you have got every single one right this week. So you're doing well on the predictions things. So yeah, you bossed that one, and it was a comfortable one in the end for you. But yeah, no, I think picking the Burnley West Ham as a draw was a very good shout. I don't think many people would have seen that. Not with Burnley struggling to score goals and West Ham not struggling to score goals. You know, generally makes for an idea that one of those teams is going to win. So yeah. But then that brings us on to the next game week, and we've got a few actually north-south ties, to be honest with you, which is good. Whether they all play or not is another matter, because obviously the amount of COVID cases in the Premier League seems to be going up. They're obviously all partying hard at the moment. Maybe some of them are Tories and went on some of the shares and Tory parties, which they claim that they're not having. So who knows? But we don't want to get into politics. We are not politicians. We just know things. That's all. So anyway, I digress. So we've got Brentford Man United this week. So that's the first one. Like I said, that may not happen. But who you going for out of that one, Heath?
It's tough because United was so poor against Norwich that I probably would go Brentford, but I am going to just go for United. I just think they'll have too much.
Yeah, no, I agree. Both going for United there, so no, that's no problem with that. Then we've got Norwich versus Villa.
Oh, this is the divide derby, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is where the north versus south is divided. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go for a draw.
Yeah. So he's going for the draw. I'm going to go for the Villa. I think, the Villa, looked really impressive on Stevie G. They've only lost 1-0 to Liverpool, didn't play badly again. And although Norwich have looked better under Dean Smith, and he might probably want to get one back over the side, that got rid of him recently. But I do think Villa have been showing quite a lot under Gerrard, and I fancy them to be able to get that win. So there's that one. Then we've gone to the Wednesday games. We've got two on the Wednesday. So we've got Brighton versus Wolves. I'm going for a draw there, to be fair, mate. Probably, although Wolves are struggling to score goals, but they don't concede, to be fair, much. So I think you're looking at a 0-0 or 1-1 draw there, probably. I'd be thinking.
I'll go for a narrow Brighton win.
Yeah, okay. Heath on the Brighton. Then we're going to go Burnley-Watford. I'll go first here again, Heath. I'll let you go last, and let's build some suspense to see what faith you have, if any, in your own side. I am going to actually go for another draw with this one, to be fair, again. So, yeah.
Sadly, I'm probably going to go for a Burnley win. Unfortunately, I know Watford way too well to know that our record at Burnley is awful. We don't travel that well in the north in general. I was going to say the northwest. The northwest, but the north in general. So I'm going to go for a Burnley win.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay. Again, showing your loyalty to your team. I like that.
Well, if they defend it better, mate, maybe I would be thinking about a win.
Maybe, yeah. Then we go on to the Thursday games. If this one goes ahead, Leicester versus Spurs.
Well, I'll go for Leicester. Go for Leicester to win.
I'm going for a draw. I'm drawing a lot this time. I'm being dull and boring. And then finally, Chelsea versus Everton.
I'll go for Chelsea.
I will be going for Chelsea as well. Definitely. No brainer, that one. I can't see Everton getting anything there. But that's it. So we've got 6 games this week actually to go from there. So barring the Brentford Man U and Chelsea Everton game, we've gone for different ones in all the other ones. So should be a good contest coming up. See if I can finally win one, because we've either tied or you've won them all, to be fair, since we've been doing the predictions. So good for you to boost morale in the ranks, I guess. Get your confidence up.
It's what I do, mate. It's what I do. I mean, like a lot of the fans out there right now who listen to this podcast are thinking, well, he's got to do something because he can't pick an FPL team. I can predict my ass off, though. I tell you what, all day long. Yeah,
very good, very good. I like it. Well, yes, so that's the predictions for this week, and we'll see what happens. Come the end of the next 3 days. Like I said, it could be an interesting 3 days, to be honest with you. Which then moves us on to our North versus South Mini League updates, Heath. This is the league that we set up, and some of our very loyal listeners have joined and created a good league. So, Heath, what happened in the league this week?
Normally we start at the top and work our way down to the bottom. This time I'm going to do the other way around, because let's be honest, you should be leaving the best till last, right? So I'm going to start with a proper stinker at the very bottom. Sam Diamond, it looks like he's given up on football, as his team has given up on football too. He got a really miserable 17 points. He's now bottom of the league. It looks like El Badger Poopers are no longer the joking team that we once thought of them. They've worked their way out of the bottom spot, and they're working their way up the league. Nick Edwards' El Badger Poopers got a strong 36. Impressive performance from Jin Every of Braver Jeverkusen B with 71 points, took a -4, but obviously, given that, I think you were the only one. There was a couple of people who got 70 odd points, but this was the one that got the most points with the hits included. Ronaldo as captain, which was a masterclass. Janssen in defence.
You see, he fancied Brentford, didn't he? He fancied Brentford.
He did. He even had Baptiste, which, I mean, to be fair, he had a chance in the first 5 minutes. Could have been even better for Gin. Then we had Simon Dentos, 76 points, really impressive.
Go on, Dentos.
Took a minus 12, but at the same, well worth it. You know, he had Kieran Tierney, who got plenty of points. Obviously, he did. The moment he comes back into the Arsenal team, he gets loads of points because I've not got him in anymore. That's fine, not bitter again. And yeah, he also had Ronaldo, Salah captain, Rudiger, Ramsdale, Bernardo. Had a very strong week this week, basically. So that worked out nicely for old Dentos. Then we move up the league past me. I've not quite made it into the top half yet, which I was hoping I would have done by now. Then State, you've obviously got 70 points. That was impressive. Paul Pond with 69, another -8 though. Ronaldo's captain, Salah, Decore, Dennis, De Gea in goal. That's a good shout. Then keep working our way up the league. Then we're looking, actually, to be fair, mate, you're in 6th place, not far away from 5th. It was Warbones with Simon Jones. MM's come down a little bit. Jason Byers above him again, back into 3rd place with a good 67 points. Summit Deer in 2nd place, and our man at the top, Betty Swallocks FC, John Rogerson. He's got into the 4-figure mark. He's now on 1,015 points. Ramsdale in goal. Alexander Arnold, Salah as captain. He brought in Diogo Dalot, who's not a bad shout. You know, he's playing every week. Bernardo Diaz, his front line had a bit of a stinker. He's gone for the wrong Watford striker in King, St. Maximan, and Antonio. A bit of a stinker at the top, but realistically, he's having a very good season. So good work, John. And yeah, good work, everyone. I don't think there's a huge amount that we can really laugh at this week because, like I say, El Badger Pooper's got an okay score. So that's that for the North versus South mini league. Personally, I would just like to say again, guys, keep it going. Love the fact there's a lot of transfers being made, which shows you're still into the FPL. It gets to this point now where it gets quite tough. Lots of fixtures going on, lots of games going on. It's easy to drop away, lose interest, especially if you've got a South or a North team. So, you know, the people like Eddie Moran, Harrison Copley, Liam, SH, Chris Harrigan, you know, you guys are doing a really good job with your North/South teams, obviously State and myself as well included. If I've missed anyone there, just let me know, State, because I don't think I have. Could be wrong.
No, I think you got
Pavlos Lossi is another one. I think he's got a.
Oh yeah, Pavlos has one. Obviously, there's only Ned Stark's my dad and me as the northern ones, but yeah, you've got Pavlos, Chris Harrigan with Doff Venture South, and you mentioned. So yeah. I mean, you're in 2nd place in the one of the teams that have done just North and South. So there you go.
Not bad at all. So let's move on to the newest feature to the FPL podcast, the North versus South FPL podcast, may I add. The new feature is called On the Spot. And that's not because there was about 1 million penalties this week, all deciding about every other game. It's because we thought, well, you come on and listen to this podcast, myself and State, talking about football. I have to be honest, I'm sure you won't be surprised. We do prepare a fair bit before we come on the podcast. So what we wanted to do was to offer you an air of spontaneity with our answers. So what these are going to be is State's prepared 5 questions. I've prepared 5 questions. We have to answer them with like a 1-word or 1-line answer, but it's spontaneous. We haven't done any research into these questions. So you're hopefully going to get a proper, genuine response. And with one of the questions, we're going to elaborate on one. So State, if you want to start us off with your questions, let's see how we get on.
Yes. So first question, Heath, you're going to need to elaborate on this. There's no other chance of you answering it, to be fair. So what rule would you bring into FPL?
We did this feature on the podcast about maybe a couple of months ago. There was some really, really good shouts, right? And the one that I liked the most was the unlimited funds. So what I like is there to be a chip. Is that what you mean, or do you mean an actual rule?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I would personally like is a chip where 1 week you can make unlimited transfers and you could have unlimited amount of money. And the reason why I like this idea is because a lot of people could say, oh, I'm going to go out there and buy Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, Cristiano Ronaldo, Raheem Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne, all in 1 week. And you've got unlimited funds. You can do whatever you want. However, you know that law of sod is going to come in and bite you on the arse when Emmanuel Dennis at 5.7 million scores, or someone like Conor Gallagher scores, or James Maddison scores, who you just don't even think about them. Why? Because you're too caught up in the money. I just see that as a really interesting chip. You think when Man City are playing Norwich at home, you think, oh, this is perfect for De Bruyne. What happens? It gets rotated because they're only playing Norwich. They're going to keep him for the Arsenal game. Or actually, that's a bad example. They're going to keep them for the Liverpool game. Sorry, Arsenal fans. So that's for me, unlimited funds, chip. Would love that. I just think that it doesn't have to be, it may be a one-hit wonder, one season wonder or something, but I would love the idea of that. I think it could be so much fun.
Very good. No, like it. Don't disagree with that. So I think it's be a very decent idea, to be fair, that one. So yeah, I was one of the ones that I didn't mind, actually. I don't think I minded that one. I slated most ideas actually when we did that one, but yeah, I think that was one of the few that passed the 5 out of 10 mark at least. So yeah, okay. On to it next. Now we're on to more sort of quick fire stuff. Would you rather kiss the Luton or Crystal Palace badge?
Oh, Crystal Palace. Shit on the Luton. Shit on the Luton.
You always slag off Palace, though. You know. I thought
I've moved on. I've moved on. To be honest, like they're no longer. Yeah, like realistically, the rivalry was back in the day when we were competing each week. Now we know our place. They don't know their place. We're both happy where we are. Luton, on the other hand, scum.
There we go. Okay. Right. Chip butty or fish butty?
Oh, chip butty.
Good man. Most attractive male footballer, past or present?
Oh, I'll be predictable and go with Beckham. Has to be Beckham, surely.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Favorite sporting movie?
Can I go for Running Man?
you can go for that.
No. I'm not going to go for that. All right, it's really tough, and I know this is only meant to be one line, so I'm going to go with Any Given Sunday. But I really want to go for Mike Bassett, England manager. I've gone against the whole idea of the spontaneity and the one-line answer, but I just want to give that shout out to Mike Bassett. But Any Given Sunday has got to be the best for me.
Basically, Heath can't follow his own rules on this
Sorry.
This new I promise you, the next podcast, he'll get there. He'll understand his own rules by then.
I'll be on state shit list again next week for failing to comply to my own rules.
Yeah, most likely. Can we just go back and I'll just add you onto it in advance? Like a bit like Minority Report type stuff.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your 5 questions, buddy. Good thinking. Yeah.
Oh, I like him. I like him, mate. I like him a lot.
I'm glad you went down chip buddy over fish buddy route. That would have been wrong if you didn't do that. So well done. Good.
Has to be. Okay, so my questions. If you have to define your managing skills in FPL to a real life Premier League manager, past or present, who would it be?
Mourinho.
Elaborate.
I'm just that good.
Come on, elaborate properly.
I like to think that I'm a bit brutal. I expect a lot from my players.
How would your press conference go down when you first started the job?
Tell you what, if I was giving a press conference, I'd probably say I'm quite special. I mean, I'm here in front of you guys. I'd probably have a pint of landlord in front of me. Or something as well. So,
that's not how he said it. You can't walk in and go, "Hi guys, I'm quite special."
Yeah, no, that's how I do it, so that they wouldn't think that I'd be actually that good. Like, who's this joker, wouldn't they then? So that's it. I am special. I am the special one. I run down a pitch at Old Trafford and celebrate.
Oh, honestly, I didn't think I would laugh harder than after the Godfather 3 random quote, but you've got me there with I'm special. I'm the new manager. I'm good work. That new feature was just worth it just for that one answer alone. Okay, who has the better footballing history, Manchester United or Liverpool?
Liverpool.
You two or the police?
The police.
Office or royal family?
Royal family.
I knew you would say that, even though I don't think you believe that.
No, I do believe that.
Better night out, London or Brig House?
Brig House. You can go out in Brig House on £15 and come back with change. London, you couldn't even get into London on £15.
What was and this is obviously we are not sponsored by any clubs or bars in Brig House, but State, please tell me that bar / club that we went to where we bought a round for I think four triple cherry brandy somethings for £7. Where was that?
Oh, I went to the Calder. Oof, yeah, the Calder.
That was eye-opening. That was
yeah.
By the way, there are many other clubs and bars in Brig House, not just the Calder, but that was the one we were at that night. That was good.
That wasn't as good as the bar we were in early doors or the pub we were in early doors. Actually, the more pubs in Brig House, not bars. To be fair, let's be honest. But we actually we saw that they had hooch in there, and we ended up we ended up drinking all their hooch stock in a space of about an hour of being in there. So they obviously don't stock it much, but yeah, that was pretty good as well. Quite cheap, but yeah, good old hooch.
All I can say is the reason why I asked that question was I can't really remember the night out in Brig House. I can only remember the cherry brandies. There was a picture of us having some espresso martinis. Apparently we had hooch as well. Didn't know that. Yeah. Just found that out about 2 or 3 years later.
you were wearing braces, weren't you?
Yeah. A good night.
I won't say elaborate on that bit.
No, probably best not to. So, okay, guys, that was on the spot. We will try and have that feature in. And I guess if you've not realised it already, we've unfortunately had to cut the hit list for the new feature. But hit list will be back soon. Don't worry. All you guys who like the hit list, it'll be back.
Yeah, we can do a hit list. Don't you worry. Another time. You don't always want the hit list there, because sometimes the hit list can be quite obvious and boring, whereas shit list is never boring. There's obviously going to be some fun stories there, isn't there? So yeah, definitely. So I liked that. Good was on the spot, and we might put a different topic in maybe for next week on the spot. We could have a specific topic. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it could be Christmas related or something like that.
Yeah,
given it's coming up so close now.
Good shout. So yeah, brings us on to our game week preview. So we've got obviously midweek fixtures coming up. I mean, there's a bit of uncertainty about certain games. I suppose at the moment we've got to take it at face value. So just remember, guys, it's a 6 o'clock deadline tomorrow, which will be Tuesday the 14th of December for anyone listening to it. So don't be scared if you listen to it in a week's time and you then thinking, cracky, where's this game week thing come from? It's Tuesday the 14th of December, the game week I'm talking about, okay? Which is game week 17. So Heath, what are the plans? Are your boys going to do some bits this week?
Yeah, okay, so just to kind of give you an idea of my mindset leading into this game week, as mentioned just by State just then, and what we talked about earlier about the COVID cancellations. Well, all I'll say to you guys is whatever you do not make transfers until you really have to. So if you can, leave it till tomorrow, wait as close to 6 o'clock as you can, unless the cancellations get confirmed beforehand, because realistically, anything can happen. Any game can go. I mean, the Spurs game got cancelled before the deadline, so at least I was able to work with that.
I think in Brentford Man U game, we'll probably have confirmation on whether that's getting cancelled before the deadline. I think
exactly.
We'll know. The Spurs Leicester one, I don't know if we'll know about that. To be fair, that might be a close one. To be fair,
it's not easy, and all I say is that just remember, when you're finding it really frustrating that you're having to make transfers to get rid of players who are affected by COVID, just remember there's nearly 9 million players out there who have probably all got the same issue. So everyone's in the same boat. A lot of people got the same players, unless you're a regional team like I am and State is. Most people have got similar teams really nowadays. So what I'm going to do is right now, in my mind, I've got no massive transfers I'm thinking about. I'm quite happy with my team. I'll tell you my team now. At the moment, it's Ramsdale in goal. They've got West Ham at home. Rudiger and James, they've both got Everton at home. I've got Cucurella. He's got Wolves at home. I'm going with him over Lamptey for now because I'm not too sure, if the Brighton game will... Oh, well, if Lamptey will play, because I think Cucurella's, if out of the two of them, he's more likely to get 90 minutes or close to. I've got Conor Gallagher, Southampton at home, Mason Mount, Wilfred Zaha, Emil Smith-Rowe, and then my front line at Emmanuel Dennis, who are playing Burnley away. Tough game, as I said. Mikel Antonio, Arsenal away. On paper, a tough game, but it's the kind of game maybe West Ham will be more up for than Burnley away. And Ollie Watkins, Norwich away. At the moment, my captaincy is probably the hardest I've ever had it this season, because the player that, has probably been one of the most successful players, Antonio, he hasn't done anything for quite a few weeks now, so I can't put it on him. Mason Mount, I can't be sure that he's going to play. He may play, but unfortunately, if I put the captaincy on him, he might not play, and he might come on for 5-10 minutes at the end, so can't risk it with him. Zaha, Gallagher, would anyone really put captaincy on him? Smith-Rowe coming back from injury, Dennis away at Burnley. So I've got the captaincy at the moment on Ollie Watkins, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not massively happy with that. So I need Son back really, but I may, if the Tottenham game gets the green light, I may bring Son back in, because guess how much money I've got in my bank at the moment? Probably the most that anyone's got at the moment, 13.7 million. So oof. I could effectively take out Big Mo, who would be my third sub, and bring in Son quite comfortably. So yeah, that could I don't know if I would take out Mo, because he's pivotal to the podcast. It would be a real depressing moment. I would accept being on my own shit list if I did that, just for the principle of the thing. So yeah, I could potentially bring in Son. That's the only person who I feel like I'm missing out on, but there's not a huge amount. Maybe if cancellations happen, it affects my team, then maybe I'll have to put it. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with my bench. I've got a playing bench apart from my goalkeeper. So we'll see. How about you, mate? How's it looking for you?
Yeah, it's not looking good at the moment. Because, like I said, I've got a few red marks there. Cancelo's suspended for a game. Jimenez suspended. Bamford injured. So that's 3 straight away. But so I'm basically, I've got, at the moment, I haven't made any transfers. Like you said, I'm going to be waiting to see what sort of goes on with some of these games, hopefully, and get some sort of idea. Obviously, I've got a couple of Leicester players 3 Leicester players in my squad. I do have a transfer lined up. I'm going to get rid of Kasper Schmeichel and bring in David De Gea, but am I going to do that if Man United aren't playing? If that gets called off? Probably not, because what I might do is I'll take out one of my strikers instead of that, and then I could do that transfer next game week instead, hopefully. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking at the moment. So at the moment, I've got Schmeichel in there. It'll be Diaz, Alexander-Arnold, Cody, and Mason Holgate at the back. Then midfield 5 of Maddison, Jota, Salah, Bernardo Silva, and Samaria, and then Pukki up top. Salah will be captain. No surprise there. But I've got a few plans in mind. Like I said, if the United game's not called off, I'm very tempted to just make that straight swap of Schmeichel for De Gea in there, because United have got a good run of games, so I'm thinking that anyway. And De Gea is only 5.1 million, so it's not like he's 6 million goalkeeper like Alisson and Ederson are. So that's probably a likely thing to happen. If not this week, it'll be the following week. And then I'm probably going to have to get Bamford out now, because I don't know how long he's going to be out for. And then it's about finding a forward really who I could bring in. I've got a few options in there, but it's a difficult one. Newcastle, they've got Liverpool, Man City, Man United in the next 3 games, so I'm not going to be thinking Callum Wilson or Saint Maximin at this moment in time, which sort of makes it a little bit thin on options at the moment, to be fair. So I'm sort of doing some research into that, and we'll make a decision probably very late tomorrow. I would imagine the last 15 minutes of my day at work between 5:15 and 5:30 will be spent on my fantasy team. So once I know a bit more about what's going on.
Nice. Yes, it's not easy. Like I say, at the moment, games are coming thick and fast, like we said before, and yeah, you do have to have an element of patience with a lot of things. So the closer you wait till there's not going to be a huge amount of price rises and price drops and stuff. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. It may happen, but just look at what State did this week, bringing in Bamford and then him being injured. Bamford's price may have gone up slightly. He then comes away injured and you haven't got a player. It's so frustrating. Yeah, learn from State's mistakes. Don't make them, guys.
Definitely don't.
He is the special one.
I am the special one. I'm very special. I win games. I win game winners. Yes. So yeah. Okay, don't you worry. I'll have more. There'll be plenty more of these coming on throughout the season.
I've been informed there's a quiz this week. Obviously, don't know too much about it, but we didn't have one last week. We didn't have the one the week before. State, tell us all about this quiz. What's going on, mate?
Well, I'm just reversing the last quiz that we did do, where you sort of gave me teams and I had to shout out the name of someone who plays for them, basically. So I'm just going to do that, a quick fire round for you. There's no punishment on this one. I don't think punishments are fair at the moment, given that there's so much uncertainty going on whether teams are playing. So I'm not going to be that sort of guy. And just to show that I do have a heart, and it's not fully made of ice. So there you go. But yeah, so we've got 14 teams for you to go through. All of them have played. Well, not all of them, but all of them have got players who have either played in the Premier League themselves, or they've had players who've gone on to clubs who have played in the Premier League. So, and they're all from like the north as well. These, I think, the furthest south I've got in my list is Nottingham Forest. To be honest with you, I think everyone else is a real northern area, not a Midland in betweener type thing. Okay, so like I said, it's a quick fire this eve. I don't want you. If you start dwelling on something, I'm docking you. All right,
Fine. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll fine you, but not on your fantasy team. I'll just make you down that double whiskey you've got in your hand still. So yeah. Nice. So let's sort of remember that before you do anything. So right, let's start off the nice easy run. So Man City.
Okay, Aguero.
Notts Forest.
Pierre Van Hooijdonk.
Everton.
Duncan Ferguson.
Blackpool.
Matt Clark.
Man U.
Eric Cantona.
Rotherham United.
Sean Gota.
Halifax Town.
David Strimple.
Brilliant. Wigan Athletic.
Amir Zaki.
Liverpool.
Robbie Fowler.
Bradford City.
Stuart McCall.
Leeds United.
Oh God, Radaby.
Whiskey. Chesterfield.
Sean Dyche.
Good lad. Barnsley.
Jerry Taggart.
Oldham Athletic.
Dennis Irwin.
Well done. Oof. Well, I can safely say most of them you've done all right one. Obviously, Aguero for Man City, yeah. Van Hooijdonk, Forest, what a legend. Big Duncan for Everton, yeah. Scared shitless of him. Matt Clark, are you thinking the goalkeeper Matt Clark?
No, I'm pretty sure he was a centre half or something.
Yeah,
might have been Peter Clark actually.
I mean, let's have a look.
I should have just gone Craig Cathcart.
I think Charlie Adam.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be a contentious one to look at anyway. Man United, Cantona, of course. Rotherham, Sean Gota. Great shout. If you didn't say anyone other than him, I'd have been very upset with you. Feed the goat and he will score. Yeah. He did it for Rotherham before he went on to
Mate, it was Peter Clark. Yeah, my bad. It wasn't Matt Clark.
No, that's all right. Rotherham had a goalkeeper called Matt Clark. He went and played for Bradford City and Sheffield Wednesday, just to give you a bit of knowledge there. Halifax Town, David Shrimple, completely made up. I'm sure someone out there is called David Shrimple.
Let's find a David Shrimple. I've got a David Strimple and a David Stringley, but no David Strimple. So it looks like I might have got that one wrong. Yeah. Do you know who I should have gone for? I should have gone for Howard Brown.
Maybe I think you should have just gone for Jamie Vardy or Grant Holt.
Yeah, I think Howard Brown would have been funnier. Who gives you extra? Who?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah, it would have been good that through. Love it. Wigan, you went for Zaki with Wigan.
I've got my artwork for this week's podcast.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, I expect Howard Brown to be all over it. That's it. Yeah, definitely. Oh, brilliant stuff. So yeah, we've got Zaki from Wigan. That's correct. Robbie Fowler, Liverpool. Stuart McCall, Bradford. Yes, of course. Bradford legend. Managed him as well a few times. One of my mates, Askey, that I called Askey, loved Stuart McCall. Loved him. So yeah, I think he was close to tears both times that they sacked him.
I think before you move on, I think we have to give it a shout out that if anyone hasn't seen the Stuart McCall dancing on the car on, I think it might have been Soccer AM or something like that, or they showed it on Soccer AM. But yeah, guys, type into Google or type into YouTube. By the way, there's other sites out there that you can search with and you can find videos on, although I can't find many from YouTube, but go on YouTube, Stuart McCall, dancing, drinking, something like that. I'm sure you'll see him falling off the car. It's a pretty funny clip.
Yeah, you definitely will. It's a good one, to be fair.
Most podcasts
played for Motherwell, wasn't it? I think
that's it. So most podcasts would give you the link. We don't offer you that service. We expect our listeners to do their own dirty work.
Yeah, so yeah. Leeds United, Lucas Radaby, yeah, legend, really good.
Do you know what? I got confused because I was thinking Rafinha, and then I wanted to say Radaby, and all I could think was Rafinha because we were talking about it earlier. But yeah, Radaby.
The Kaiser Chiefs are called the Kaiser Chiefs because Lucas Radaby were like their favourite player because they're Leeds lads and fans, and he played for a team called the Kaiser Chiefs in South Africa. There you go, bit of knowledge for you.
That's good knowledge. Did not know that.
Yeah. Chesterfield, Sean Dyche, great shout, brilliant shout. He played in that famous semi-final that they drew with Middlesbrough in when they were playing against the likes of Ravanelli and Juninho, and Sean Dyche was playing in that game as a centre half who
scored a penalty.
He was their main penalty taker. Definitely was Dyche.
Again, sorry, mate, to slow you down on this because obviously we do want to get to the end here. But again, if you guys haven't seen it, Chesterfield 3, Middlesbrough 3 on YouTube. Put it in, give it a watch. Yeah. Remember it like yesterday. Brilliant game.
Yeah. My mum's side of the family all from Chesterfield and that. So there's a little bit of sort of family nostalgia there from my mob, but yeah, it was a fantastic game. I think Middlesbrough then battered them in the replay. That's when they had replay back then. But then Chelsea went on to win in the FA Cup when Di Matteo scored that worldie, I think, as well. So
Barrow got relegated.
Yes, yeah, they did because they got docked points for not playing that game, didn't they? So yeah, big time, and yeah, things have never been the same again.
No.
Well. Barnsley, Jerry Taggart. Yeah, Jerry Taggart played for Barnsley for about 4 or 5 years. So yeah, good shout there. Oldham Athletic, Dennis Irwin. Yeah, Dennis Irwin was signed. That's who Man United signed Dennis Irwin from. Was Oldham, who turned into an absolute quality fullback. Oldham were actually in the first ever Premier League. For those of you who don't know, as well, first Premier League season, Oldham were in it.
All I can think of is Neil Poynton. Do you remember him?
Yes,
left back for Oldham, had a huge mullet, and then whenever they played Man United, he seemed to score. I mean, they again some classic old semi-finals, Oldham versus Man United. Again, YouTube guys.
Yeah, that was a good game. Went to a replay as well. That one didn't it? 'Cause I think with Mark Hughes.
Mark
Mark
Hughes, last
Hughes,
minute equaliser.
yeah, and then United I think run away with the replay. But yeah, now Oldham Athletic, they were there in that first ever Premier League. They were there. So yeah, well done, Heath. Yeah, got them all there. To be fair, barring Halifax Town. So great work. 13 out of 14. You deserve. Oh no, well I suppose there was Blackpool as well because you said Matt Clark and Peter Clark. To be fair, I can't take that then as correct. So 12 out of 14. Still good work though. Really good work. So yeah, good man. Well done.
I feel like I should have got a bonus point for Howard Brown. I feel like that because, come on.
Well, you didn't say it until afterwards.
I know, but it's still quite a funny mention. So
it was a funny mention. Definitely. But, if you just said it when I asked you Halifax Town, then I'd probably still be laughing about it now, and not been able to complete the rest of the questions. To be honest with you, but
I'm not that quick, unfortunately.
No, you're definitely not that quick. Yeah, I've seen the action. No, not that. But no, Howard Brown was a great shout. I'll give you that, and I look forward to him being all over our artwork for this podcast.
and guys, on that note, we're going to be able to get one more podcast in before Christmas. Hope you're still enjoying these. Again, we'd love to hear feedback from anyone. We had some feedback this week, and it's really, really great to hear. Really love that. Like, as you can imagine, absolutely love doing these. So if there's anything we can do to make them better, then we're all ears. So if you want to get in contact with us, just remember our Twitter handles. Stay is FPL_Northerner, and I am FPL_Southerner. DM us, follow us, tweet us, do whatever you want to do on Twitter. I really hope that everyone's going okay at the moment, because it has been tough on fantasy football. And as State mentioned earlier, really important to remember deadline tomorrow, 6:00 Tuesday. And good luck. I hope everyone has a good game week.
Definitely. Yeah, good luck everyone. Fingers crossed for another Northern win in our head-to-head, Heath. Let's keep going with that momentum. That'd be good for me. And everyone else, good luck, Baron Heath.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
You're welcome. Anytime. I always like to be nice.
Have a good one, guys.
See you later.